All right. Good afternoon, guys and gals, boys and girls, ladies and gents. We are slow grooving into Monday. Um, Let me see. Just checking out the chats. Thanks for being here. We're live on YouTube, X, and on Rumble. I like that meme. That's all right. Victory Jen always comes with the really good memes. Pre-show. That's what she's throwing at me today. All right. Let's go. I don't know. How you guys feeling? I know I probably expressed some frustration on Friday, and that has not really gone away. I have been more and more so avoiding social media, and after this Charlie Kirk thing, I tried my very, very best to kind of stay off of most social media, and I checked in. But I've just really been trying to not infest my brain with too much noise. The din over Charlie Kirk has become something absolutely ridiculous. I'm not really quite sure what to do about it, although that I will suggest, as others have suggested, that this is a complete and utter psyop fabrication. I don't know whether Charlie Kirk is really dead or not. Who knows? There are so many theories. We'll talk about some theories, I guess, today about, like, was he shot? How was he shot? Who shot him? There's like 300 theories. I can tell you it's definitely not the guy that they arrested. But all they need is to manufacture consent is the appearance that something is going on, and in every mainstream media station and a whole lot of social media accounts repeat the thing that they said has happened, and then they just react to that. But I mean, it's reached levels of insanity that I am quite worried about. It seems like they're trying to ramp this up into, for sure trying to ramp it up into some kind of civil war thing. And apparently there were people making databases about lefties celebrating Charlie Kirk's demise, and that they were getting them fired. And whatever. I mean, I don't think that's cool. The problem is that everybody is reacting to something that they barely grasp the actual reality of, and that is the part that's the scary part to me. There are plenty of people out there saying, "Hey, slow your roll," but I'm not really interested in viewing or hearing or seeing people talking about, how either one of the takes from either side. Lefties are so bad, and this is what they do, and somehow the shooter was trans or trans affiliated or something. It's crazy because I was watching Sam Tripoli's show. He was taping a show when the shooting occurred, just like it occurred. I was on air kind of when it occurred, or right when it happened. But his guest immediately said, "I bet they're going to try to make him seem like he's trans." which was a good call from this guest. In fact, most of his calls were right on the money as it played out. Elon Musk went on the big screen at the Tommy Robinson far right protest saying fight or die. Really? Elon Musk? Yeah. And here's Elon Musk, like, as usual, playing both sides and every side he plays is the wrong side. But kind of taking the let's get the liberals side. Which is absolutely horrific. I mean, Elon Musk is not an elected official, but he owns an entire social media platform, and for him to be weighing in like he is on whatever is happening, political skirmishes and what's going on. I mean, it's obvious that he is part of the psyop, but I also find it irresponsible on like so many levels, right? This guy is, almost a trillionaire pretty much on paper. One of the richest people in the world, one of the most powerful people in the world, deep in the military industrial complex, deep in the, whatever role he's playing as a CIA op. And of course he's, of course he's popping off, but I'm just saying in the world that we might have once known, I would call what he's doing, I don't know if irresponsible is a word. It's gross is what it is. Political interference from a foreign actor. There you go. But I mean, we have all of that going on anyways. It's gross. It's it is really distasteful. It's driving. He is driving people into a certain amount of reaction to this. And all I can really say is that this is the one of the most naked, out right in your face, absolute psyop that I've yet seen. It's since 9/11, one of the biggest ones. Of course, COVID was in there too, but the fact that they are just Stephen Miller is saying they're gonna. I mean, it's wild. And if you wonder how Hitlerian Germany took shape, it's probably something like this. maybe more people are seeing it as a psyop after a couple days, but for a couple days there, just everybody had their take, and it was all of it was bad. I don't know. So let's talk about it a little bit. I mean, there's 300 different views of who actually shot Charlie Kirk. I'm kind of less interested in the hows right now than the. I'm more interested in the. Oh, this is not what I'm trying to watch. I'm more interested in the effect that they're trying to push on people. They're saying I don't know if
right there.
They're saying this guy on the. So okay, here's a couple of different takes that I've heard. It wasn't a prop shot that he was wearing. One of the best takes I heard was he was wearing a bulletproof vest under a shirt. I don't know if I could really tell that, and that the bullet bounced off the vest into his neck. That could have happened. I don't know. I had a bunch of videos that I thought I was going to show about like how and who and why, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. He may be alive, he may not be alive. For sure, I would absolutely say that the person they apprehended is not the shooter. For sure, this was an assassination um, made for TV, much like the Trump fake assassination. What's George Galloway's take? What take is his? I don't know what his take is. What has he got to say? Let's go find him. Yeah, it doesn't really how he was killed or if he was killed or what really happened. I really don't care at this point. All I know is it was false. It was a false flag. It was made to happen. It was whatever they're telling you about the story is not the real story. Again, one more time, anything they're telling you about the story, you should just put your hand over your ears and just go, I don't know. Well, I don't know what you're saying. Bullshit. Or how about bullshit? Put your hand over your ears and just say bullshit. Bullshit. But they're trying to ramp it up into some whatever they're trying to run down your throat is the agenda, and that's the whole point of this thing happening. And it doesn't really matter who shot him or how he was shot or if he's dead or if it was a prop shot or if he was shot by the dude on the right or the dude in front of him or dude on the roof, or it doesn't really matter. I think the here I'll find something better to play. What is there? George Galloway, like what is his take? Bella, can you give me a a one sentence or two sentences summing up his take? I don't know. I didn't see it. Here my take is here's my take. My take is the best take. I don't even have to find it. My take is this. I'm not worried about a civil war between a bunch of pussies who can't get out in the street and take on their tyrannical government. Bitch, please. I want to go live in France. That's my take. Oh, he thinks it's Netanyahu? Okay. I mean, likely, sure. It's very likely. That's as likely as anything else. They're trying to turn it into a civil war, but the problem is that one of the sides is in the government, and that's the issue, right? The Elon Musk side, the Trump, the Stephen Miller side, we'll call it the Israel side, is one of the sides is the government, and they're going to demonize lefties or anybody who's anti-Kirk or anybody who mocks it or thinks anybody on the left they're going to try and demonize, and that is not, it's ridiculous. But let's talk about Israel for a second. Before we get there, I just want to play this or show you this. Here we go. I feel like that's a tambourine monkey. Well, I love tambourines and I love monkeys. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the thing I'm trying to find? My God, people. All right, here we go. This guy runs it down pretty good.
Charlie Kirk had a lot of opinions. And among those opinions was his opinion that being a white, straight Christian male was under attack in this country. Now, this video is not to debate with the dead man's opinions. This video is to talk to who he was talking to and to talk about what to do in the aftermath of his death. Now, there has been, and there's going to continue to be, a lot of shit throwing on the internet around his death and around what happens after his death. And there's a whole host of young men who look just like me, who are either direct fans of his or knew of him tangentially and thought he was fine, thought he was harmless, just a guy sticking up for himself and his way of life. Now, these young men for the last 7 or 8 years have been being told that they are under attack for being straight, white, Christian men. And they have now had that fear confirmed for them in the most traumatizing and shocking way possible. Now, if you are one of these young men and you've made it this far into listening, please listen to me now. This war that we are throttling towards full speed is the war of our grandfather's generation. These old rich men in control who want violence, who want the masses to slaughter each other. These men are our only enemy. Who profits when we have riots? Who profits when the stores burn down? Who profits when we turn our backs on our brothers? Corporations profit. Private equity profits. BlackRock profits. BlackRock profits every time a bullet is fired and every time a store burns down. This culture war that they're sparking is being used to tear this country apart for their profit, for their gain, so that they can continue to profit off of our suffering. These people will profit when they shoot you, and they will profit at the hospital when they stitch you up. Companies like BlackRock and Palantir are set to make trillions off of the impending collapse of our nation. They're planning for us to tear each other apart. They are planning for us to turn on each other and make this culture war a civil war. I am begging you, please, for the love of God, for the love of our neighbors, for the love of whatever, do not take the bait. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and brother, we are all sharing an enemy. Charlie Kirk was killed by being used by the same enemy as a divisive tool to split our nation in half. He was killed because he was a tool used by the elite to split us along culture issues like race, like sex, like gender. The only issue that matters is the corporations at the top and the rest of us at the bottom suffering while they sip champagne and they laugh at our fear. Your enemy isn't across, your enemy is up.
Okay, that's a pretty good message, and that's the only one I really want to I want to just keep reiterating that message as much as possible. And if you have the wherewithal, amplify a saner take than like, F Charlie Kirk or I mean, it's fine if that's how you feel, but like, it's not helpful in this moment, right? It's just not helpful to get all like into the, well, these guys or those guys or like, I just feel like what he's saying is correct, which is that they're trying to elevate this, escalate this, at your expense, whatever side you're on. They're escalating this at your expense. Don't take the bait. It's best not to get, I'm preaching to the choir. I feel like best not to get, super wrapped up in the emotional hot take of everything. And that is my message. And I will just keep on pushing that message out there. Tucker was talking about World Trade Center 7. He was. So this was happening while all that stuff was going on. The House just passed a bill punishing politically motivated boycotts of Israel. they were saying that it was going to give, that even criticizing Israel was going to give Marco Rubio, the State Department, the ability to strip people of their passports. Like, what the hell? And maybe, maybe it was Israel that took out Kirk. Who knows? All I know is that they are, again, they're benefiting. Whether they really took him out or not, they're benefiting, and they're doing stuff constantly, behind the scenes. And we are just becoming more and more of an owned subsidiary of Israel. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know, I don't know the ultimate goal or agenda. I'm not, I don't know how we stop it, because we need to stop it. That if we want to, unconstitutional is becoming mundane. Yes, Wesley. If we want to, find a common enemy or a common, foil, that's somebody that we should be mad at or angry at, or fighting, it's got to be, I mean, pretty much you could say the Trump administration, but the entire government is owned and operated by the state of Israel. Also, right? It is a uniparty. Is, you could say the Trump administration. Sure, it's the Trump administration. It's the current government that's in power that is ramping this stuff up and just doing all kinds of, obviously unconstitutional, neo-fascist, moving into outright fascist stuff, generating all kinds of strife and discord, and plundering everything on the way. That is those are the people that we should be upset about, right? Like, not the left or not the right, or absolutely be upset at Elon Musk as a driver of this discord. And I would say, like, yeah, everybody's on Twitter and everybody's talking about this on Twitter, but god dang it, like, these social media apps are absolutely driving this psyop. So use sparingly, if not, just get off altogether, right? Like, I'm on Twitter kind of just to see what's happening, but, like, I don't know, guys. I've been talking about it for several weeks, if not months, about trying to find some alternative platforms to stream to. And I'm going to redouble my effort in order to make that happen, this week, because I want to, if anything, not engage in a lot of these social media apps just because, just as a protest, as a, just keeping my sanity, because they're again, they're driving the psyop, that they're algorithmically just trying to drive people crazy. So if I am on any social media apps, I will be elevating a message of unity for the people against the tyrannical government. That's all I'm going to be elevating. That's all I'm going to be discussing. That's all I'm going to be focusing on. And I'm not going to get into arguments, debates, and emotional whiplash over, things that are going on. It's very depressing. It is very depressing. It is frightening. But, take yourself out of it. You can totally just take yourself out of the emotional, tailspin. Stay off the apps. Stay out of the emotional tailspin, if you need to, and if you just need to stay off altogether, then that's, right? Text a friend, talk to real people, go hang out go get coffee with a real person, or a group of friends, or, whatever, or come to shows like this where, we're discussing things among real people, sane people, find the chat rooms and the places where you can be, where there is sanity happening and not blithering division and backlash. And also remember that on several of these social media apps, bots and bot accounts and fake accounts and accounts run by the NSA are the business, they're standard issue. So a lot of that is being driven by, not even real people. Gregory says reported that Ibrahim Traore just closed all Israel businesses, etc., in Burkina Faso. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Now, I'm just seeing like so many divisive things being said. People, black people talking about white people, and white people talking about black people, and women talking about men, and men talking about women, and lefties and righties, and blues and reds, and these people and those people. Like, can we quit with that nonsense? I don't want. It's just driving me insane to see people going like, "This is what you don't know about us," you should shut up about this and don't be talking about that, and people don't be, and you don't know, like, just cut it out. Like, cut it out. It is like, I just don't want to see the regurgitating divisiveness, and like, yes, some people are absolutely being affected more so than other people by this stuff, but like, it's not, I don't think it's helpful for you to go out on the internet and just be like, yes, there's a lot of hate out there. Yes, there's a lot of there's a lot of divisiveness out there, but I don't think like creating more divisiveness is the way to go, right? Find some common ground. Find some love in humanity, right? We have more alike than we have differences. Cut it out with the whole, well, they would, if only the men would stop doing, if only the white people would, if only these people would stop, just cut it out. That's not going to help. That's not helpful. It's not helpful. It's just not helpful. It's not helpful. DEI means everybody. If you're into diversity, equity and inclusion, it means everybody. It means the people you may not even agree with. It means everybody. So remember, it means everybody. And if somebody comes at you with some aggression and some, hate, just be like, hey, man, I'm on your side. We're all in this together. We have a common enemy. Let's not make it about each other. That's my message for the week. Let's make it about each other. Let's not make it about each other. Let's make it about the common enemy that we all have, which is the people at the top, the people sending, armed fucking troops into the cities and shit just to like stir things up. That's the common enemy. That's the people we have to be worried about, not each other. Okay. All right. For crying out loud. So more on let's see. I did see something about they passed the bill about boycotting Israel, but apparently it got removed. So that's good news. This is from Sam Husseini. The reporter who broke this story, Matt Sledge, tells me Representative Mast has just introduced a manager's amendment stripping the passport revocation provision from the bill. It appears in response to pushback over this. Well, yeah. Pressure, especially timely pressure at every turn, works. And that, the other thing too, so just to read this, the Israeli IDF soldier, Representative Brian Mast, the guy that showed up in uniform to Congress, in an Israeli uniform, for crying out loud, was forced to remove the passport revocation provision in HR 5300, which gave Israel foreign agent Marco Rubio unilateral rights to strip Americans' passports for criticizing Israel. So that's good news. Apparently, it was stricken, as it should be, because it's crazy, right? That's wild. So, I'm sorry, you can't see this. What about Israeli passports? I don't know. The thing is that you know, for all the negativity on social media, right? We are the focus group. Always remember, you're the focus group. So when you're on social media and you can echo something that's helpful, or you know, different than what everybody else is pushing out, right? If there's more people united in understanding, like, we're not going to go down this road with this psyop, we're not going down the road with this Israel thing, we're not going down the road with whatever it is you guys are trying to push. If there's more people, the more people that can get out and unify around that message and say that, they hear that. They do hear that. We are a focus group. We are constantly being monitored. We're constantly being listened to on some levels. So if you can push out a positive message or something that's more people empowering and not divisive, if you can push out some more, you know, reality and truth instead of, you know, division and lies, they hear you. They hear you. And the more people that push back on the things that are, you know, they're trying to do, right? Let's keep going. Creepy AF alert. There are 250 American legislators in Israel right now at the 50 states One Israel delegation. What? Being serenaded with Somewhere Over the Rainbow, a song known as a Project Monarch trigger for mind controlled slaves to activate them to do bidding against their will. What? I've never heard this about Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Has anybody else? Over the rainbow. Okay. Creepy. Somebody posted this. Remember when Demi Moore was kissing this kid? But like, was she singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow? Oh, somebody else was singing Over the Rainbow. Okay, that's creepy. 50 states, one Israel. They're being quite obvious about it. Yeah, creative. I heard that. Let's see. Apparently, they removed this video of Charlie Kirk questioning October 7th, which might lead you to believe that maybe they did have a hand in stirring this pot. Here's what he said. This video has been removed, by the way, from YouTube, so that is interesting. Oh, sorry.
Go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that is an IDF soldier, right? The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right?
It sounds kind of like what's happening here. Israelis are in the streets. Where are we? What are we doing? Fighting each other on Twitter and frickin' Instagram? Talking shit on Instagram? Is that they're in the streets? Israelis in the streets. They're upset at their government. They're in the streets. What are we doing? Talking shit on Instagram? Okay.
He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to leave.
By the way,
I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order?
Dang, he's kind of going in. He's kind of going in on the whole idea. So maybe there's some weight to that theory. And it is interesting. YouTube has taken down the video where Charlie Kirk questioned whether Israel issued a stand down order for October 7th. Wow. Wow. But everybody's reposting this because everybody has clips of it. Hardy har 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 har. It's wild. It's wild. I mean, it's weird times on the internet because they're trying to like act like they're, letting people talk more or something. But at the same time, right? They got the ban hammer at the ready. Just in case you go over the line. And it all depends on how many, I feel like, sure, that's a logical conclusion that maybe they didn't want him saying the things he was saying because he had so much influence and reach. It's like the more influence and reach you have, the more they want to really make sure that you don't get those messages out there. Right? Just a thought. We are being manipulated on a national level by a military-grade psychological operation meant to isolate us into groups and view all those not inside the group as evil and non-human. The scene is being set for mass chaos, violence, and control. Will you play along? Good question. Don't play along. Don't play along. Right now is a really good time for unity among people. Even if you're, you're offended, by things Charlie Kirk said, or you're offended by people on, this political stripe or this political aisle. Okay. Stop being offended long enough to turn it around and go like, what's really going on here? What is really happening? And that is the key. That's the trick. Stop being offended and like, and angry, stop the emotional, like knee-jerk impulse to be really freaking angry at these people. They're not doing this. They're not the ones doing this. This is being driven. This is being orchestrated, architected in order to get people to do exactly that, to get all up in their feelings and get all like, no, fuck you. No, fuck these liberals there. They're all commies and they're funded by George Soros and all that stuff. No, just cut it out. You gotta really like just take a breath. Take a breath. Because we really can't do anything if we don't know who it is that we're, who the real players are in this. Yeah, I had a bunch of videos about like how many different theories there were on his. I don't care about the assassination and whatever it was, the thing that happened, and I don't care. I don't care because none of it really, we could do that all day long. Creative says it was old since the Iraq War. Now it's just willful ignorance at this point, at this juncture in time. Yeah, man. You're rooting for the non-humans. All right. One in the column for non-humans. Well, I don't know. Humans seem to be just to have a, bottomless proclivity for being duped into doing dumb things. And I wish it weren't so. I wish it weren't so. I did see a good video. I don't know if I saved it about somebody saying like basically saying stuff that we've been saying for years. The economy ends when nature takes a dive. Because the economy is nature, and right now our economy is based on nature defying processes, right? Externalizing everything, but once you've externalized everything, then there's nothing left, right? Anybody ever watched the Lorax? Just a damn good illustration of what we do and what we are currently doing, which is chopping down the entire forest to make some things that nobody needs. Really, but this stuff is a lot of fun. Trust me, I love technology. I love things. I love the inventions that we have created and all that kind of good stuff. But I mean, we just do it to the point where we just do it to death. Yeah. And if you don't agree with the idea that we're altering the planet, just think about all the poisons we push out. Think of it as poisoning. You don't even have to think about climate change. Just go, how many microplastics, endocrine disruptors, pesticides, GMOs, fake dyes, and cancer causing, think about all the things we push out into the environment all the time. And if you don't care about plants or animals, the things that feed you, just get really selfish about it and go like, well, these things are affecting me. I don't want to be poisoned. But if you eat the animal or the plants that have been poisoned, guess what? It's just different ways to think about it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you cut down all the trees, it's going to be real hard to keep things going, right? It's going to be real hard to have an enjoyable existence if there's, if the air and the water and the soil are dirty and poisoned to the point where you cannot sustain life. Well, golly gee willikers. Think of it like that. It's kind of simple. And if you refuse to think of it like that, I don't know. Well, then there's, willful ignorance is a thing. If you think it's if you think it's Dr. Evil in a mountain lair sending chemtrails over your fields, If you think that's the culprit, well, then it's your responsibility to stop them from doing that, because they're not going to stop on their own. The dumbest thing I've ever heard is for people to go, well, if they just stop doing this, then everything will be okay. Okay, well, what, are you sitting around waiting for them to stop or what? I can assure you they're not going to on their own accord. So that, again, it's your responsibility. Pretty much everything is your responsibility. And I know that's uncomfortable for people. It's your friggin' responsibility. Whatever's wrong in this world is your fault. Maybe not your fault, your responsibility. Whatever's wrong in this world is your responsibility. It might not be your fault. You might not have caused it, but you are responsible for it continuing or not continuing. So it's up to you whenever you want to make that choice. And I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to anybody else. That's why it's ridiculous for people to be on the internet getting mad about these people and those people and that, and those people and the other people and those people and what these people are doing and how these people are. What? It's everybody's fault. It's someone else's fault. It's not, I'm just sitting here, I'm just an innocent little rabbit. Bullshit. There are no innocent little rabbits. We are all collectively responsible for this shit. Oh, speaking of which, here's India getting the weather machine today. But there's people like Kate out there doing the Lord's work, trying to fight logging. There's people out there working in their little ways. And I'm not saying that's little, I'm saying that's huge. That's a huge way. But I'm saying people do what they can, whether it's sometimes it feels small and sometimes it feels big, but you do what you can. You're speaking to the park board tonight? Beauty. Godspeed, Kate. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you for doing that. That is, that's amazing. Does Costco Kirkland really need to need that many water sucking almonds? You're right. Do they? Probably not. What if everybody lived really simply? Much more simply, as a way to just not put that extra pressure on the planet. I know it's hard. You just got to really sit with the things that you are doing, in your life, that things that, look at the things that you could do without. Look at the ways in which you organize yourself. I don't know. It's hard sometimes. You want to live in peace in your Warren? We had an arborist from Haida Gwaii look at the tree the city cut down 2 weeks ago. We initially thought it was a 400-year-old tree, but the arborist said it was a healthy 600-year-old tree. Oh, man. Sadness. Thanks, everybody who's watching. If you like the show, if you appreciate the show, you want the show to keep on going and coming to you for free, I want to continue bringing the show to you for free. Lots of ways to do that in the description box of whatever channel you're watching on. I'm really good. This isn't happening in North Dakota too, by the way. They're getting some. I could keep showing these videos all day, like the whole show, flooding videos, the whole show. I just slide them in here once in a while. Oh, yeah. If you want to support the show, there's lots of links in the description box. There's a link tree on X. I'm going to be trying to maybe thinking about some alternative platforms just by way of protest. Guys, you have to I want to do that, but guys, you have to come follow me to these other platforms. That's the whole thing, is that it kind of relies on you all coming over and not going like, you didn't show up on YouTube today, thought you stopped your show like that. No, I went to another platform. So if you guys are down, I will give everybody lots and lots of time and lots of information and lots of run up to switching to other platforms. I promise to do that. But you guys got to go over to the other platforms or the other places to watch. That's kind of how, that's the deal. Might not be as sexy as YouTube, but might not be as sexy as X, but I don't know. But I'm just trying to reach people. But maybe I'll just keep doing the shows on these platforms, but just give somebody a, hey, if you guys want to transition to another place, here's another place you can watch if you don't want to support these platforms. Just saying. You're never getting health care. No, I think we're, not right now. Not in the next 3 years. You're not getting health care. Probably not getting health care in the next 10 years, but you're not getting health care without a fight. You're not getting health care until you get your butt out in the street. I can tell you that much. Nobody's getting health care until they're standing in front of the White House with about 500,000 other people. Then you might get some health care. Maybe get some health care. But until that day, it ain't happening. As long as you're complaining about it on Twitter, it ain't happening. Somebody said, how dare you think about such a thing after Kirk died for your sins? I don't know, guys. Whatever they're telling you about that incident, just know that 99% of it is freaking bullshit. You can't stand outside of the White House right now. Well, okay, near the White House. I don't know. In the general vicinity, probably not. You probably get run off by some troops at this point. I feel like we should have done that a while ago. I don't know. What say you? Anyways, that's my sermon for the day. Whatever it is I said. Or those are my thoughts for the day. That's all I gotta give you. It's about 1:00. And I will see you guys tomorrow at the regular time of 12 p.m. Pacific. And I don't know. Hopefully we'll have some different things to talk about. Some different things. Hopefully things have not deteriorated more by tomorrow. There were lots of women with pink hats on that went to the White House. Nice. There were. You're right. A million poops at the White House. There you go. Pooping near the White House. Not at the White House. I mean, I guess if you can go inside. All right, guys. Yeah. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay off the internet if it's making your brain explode. You know, do constructive things with yourself and your friends, or don't, or just, you know, have a good old time. Silver is going to break 43. You need to sell. Are you going to sell silver? You think it's going to go down? You think it's going down, Creative? Do you think gold and silver are going to tank? Let's see. Where's it at? Let's see. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. It's real close to 43. Ooh, and gold be going up there too. Yep. They will drop with the market crash temporarily. Well, do you think you want to hold on to them through the crash, or you just want to get whatever you're going to get for it? And then buy low, sell high, buy low. That's the predominant, the logic for the day. So I don't know. Write it out how you want to write it out. Buy at the bottom, man. That's right. That's right. Well, then I guess that's a good plan. I guess it's a good plan. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. And beware the bear.